All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is New York City to close last migrant hotel. What's the last one that was running? The Row, maybe, guys? Listen, the Row used to be a great hotel, absolutely. But then they realized one day that it was going to be more cost effective, let's say this here, to utilize government funds rather than regular people buying a room. Keep in mind, everything is a business, guys. But all right, let's jump into it. Let's see where this video takes us.
New York City announcing it will shut down its last controversial migrant hotel in the coming months. The Row NYC was remodeled into a migrant shelter back in October of 2022 to address the overwhelming influx of migrants coming to the city. Mayor Eric Adams confirming the closure, calling it a, quote, major milestone. News Nation's Marcus Espinoza is live in Manhattan, right outside the migrant hotel there. Marcus, walk us through the closure and exactly what led to it, if you can.
Hey, Anna, good morning. Yeah, those pictures you showed there, very different image this morning behind me here. It was the first hotel converted in the city back in 2022 to handle that migrant surge. I'm just going to step out so we can take a look at it here. Not the case anymore. It is now going to be the last one to close as it is now being shut down for that purpose there. The Midtown Hotel behind me served as an emergency shelter for thousands of asylum seekers since the city's shelter system hit a breaking point. Mayor Eric Adams saying New York City has helped more than 200,000 migrants move out of shelters and towards self-sufficiency. The timing reflecting a broader trend across the country. Arrivals have dropped sharply due to the immigration policies of the Trump administration they're putting into place here in New York, from about 4,000 per week at the height of the crisis to around 100 per week. Earlier this summer, the city closed its intake center at the Roosevelt Hotel and all tent facilities. Row NYC's contract, costing more than $5 million a month, expires in April and will not be renewed. That deal has already generated more than a whopping $170 million for the...
Well, guys, if you ever wanted to know, that was the reason here. Like, I mean, obviously, you're not going to get that money from just regular people coming in. You're going to, try to utilize some type of government fund or grant, etc., to basically make as much money as humanly possible, guys. But now the problem is that the Row has been absolutely obliterated. Like, if you look at the images of the Row currently, like that you can kind of see from customers exclusively, not just like what they once were. If that makes any sense here. Like, look at it now. You'll start to realize that it is not what it once was here. I think they're probably going to have to change their name now, based off of just the sheer issues they had, kind of with the public at least. I do think that this is also the hotel where you saw kind of right behind it, you saw like dumpsters full of like food that the migrants specifically had no interest in consuming because I guess it was beneath them, right? But that was basically what was going on at the Row and other hotels kind of in this vicinity specifically, guys. This is absolutely not a shock that it finally closed, because I mean, again, they can't milk the cash cow known as the United States government any longer for migrant funds, guys.
The hotel since 2022, the mayor calling this a major milestone, moving past the migrant crisis, but says the city's going to continue to support those in the system here. But a big shift from that policy just a couple years ago of converting New York City hotels to these migrant shelters. Very different view today here, as the first one to open is now going to be the last one to close for that purpose.
All right. News Nation's Marcus Espinoza, thank you so much. With the shutdown of the migrant hotel, we're thinking about, where there will be any migrants that are going to be housed in the state of New York as well. Marcus, can you answer that? Like, what's the plan now? If the funding isn't going to go here, where is it going to be diverted?
Yeah, so they're still going to make efforts to house these folks, right? The Department of Homeland Services here in New York gradually absorbing migrants as well, so they can try to help facilitate the folks that are here as well. So that's still going to be happening here. The city-run shelter network is absorbing these migrants, which as of last week was housing 9...
Wait, the city-run shelter network. So what's going to happen to the homeless Americans? Like, are they going to have to now fight for seats or beds at these places, guys? I mean, listen, we have some issues here. Okay, like I mean, I get it. You don't want the people on the street because they'll basically flood the streets of New York City, guys. We get that. No one wants that. You'll absolutely demolish any glimpse of tourism to the state, specifically to the city, right? You will. but I'm not sure that I like the fact that homeless Americans are going to have to now kind of fight for a bed against people who broke into our country. A little wild.
92,000 people, including more than 35,000 migrants. The reduced arrival numbers have allowed the city to step back from large-scale hotel use like the one we're standing in front of here. A shift also underway in cities like Chicago and Denver. Losing costly hotel contracts like this one reduces expenses, while New York continues to meet its legal right to shelter requirement, a balance that a lot of cities are dealing with across the country as they make this shift. It's not just here in New York City, it's in other cities across the country. So this is really a microcosm of that. But we all remember those images back in 2022. It was very, very stark and definitely a different optic and image here today as they try to shift away from the hotel version, the housing migrants in hotels now to those city-run shelters.
Yeah, a hotel in Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan especially, goes for hundreds of dollars every single night. You know,
Yeah.
it's different.
The row sits at about a little over $300.
When you have friends who want to come and tour around New York City and one of the highlights in our country, and it's too expensive for them to go, and this is what's happening. So, interesting story this morning. Marcus, appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, guys. All right. The concept of right to shelter is definitely intriguing, right? I mean, I do like the fact that we can kind of get homeless people specifically off the street, but I do think that right to shelter should absolutely kind of have a caveat here. And that caveat should be you are an American citizen. You know, that should be the thing here. Because obviously, like, legal residents wouldn't really qualify for any of these type of programs. Understand that there, because, again, the minute you fall kind of beneath the poverty line, you're basically no longer welcome in the United States of America in terms of like that. Like, so for example, I'm married. I married a woman from the south of Spain, and I have to basically make sure that my family never falls beneath the poverty line, number one here. If so, then she can no longer be in the United States of America. If that makes any sense here. So there are rules, but for some reason, these individuals that have come into through our southern border do not have the same rules they need to follow. And this is kind of why even my wife, as a legal immigrant, she has massive issues with this, because, like, you know how long everything takes, guys. And imagine these individuals break into the country and now they get all access to everything America has to offer, guys. And the legal residents don't. What's happening here? Okay. All right, we have an issue. I have no idea how we're going to fix it, but I'm definitely glad that we're starting to kind of slow down some of these things here. But obviously, it's also slowing down because Trump has, in fact, basically fixed our southern border large scale. Okay. So that's a good thing. Good on him on that there, guys, right? But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, I will catch you guys later.